There you go. There it is. There it is.
Is it there now?
Mm-hmm. It had lagged
Okay,
because of
cool.
the audio engineer here. He was a little bit multitasking and rushing to get the last show out. But now we're sitting proper. So what, you got any plans for the weekend since it's your weekend starting?
Dude, actually, as a matter of fact, we have a little field trip planned tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Are you going with your daughter's school?
No. It'll be a boys trip. We'll get into it. But yeah, man.
Yes.
I had a weird dream, man, that I took our friend Logan here and another one of our coworkers to Universal Studios. So I made it happen, man. So we're actually gonna go and for Mauricio, man, he's a character, man. He's a lovable dude, great guy. Has never been, and he's like the most, like, to say that he loves Nintendo and all this stuff, dude, is an understatement. So yeah, I can't wait to see his reaction, brother. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna record it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, what? Because you know what? I haven't done too much research into what's cracking off over there at the Universal Studios with the Mario Land. What are you like looking forward to hitting? I'm sure there's like a Mario Kart kind of ride.
They do have a Mario Kart ride, yeah.
Sick. Blue shell, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. Blue shell. I can't stand that thing, dude.
Man, first place only gets like bananas and green shells. Yeah, good stuff. Any other rides you guys are looking forward to hitting?
Honestly, the tour. I know the tour for their 60th anniversary. They're actually letting people get off the tour.
Okay.
So they said there's special attractions to that. So we'll see what's to come with that. That'll be cool.
I'm gonna go swimming with Jaws, and I'm also gonna go take a walk around the. Man.
I was just about to say, because of guys like Eric, how quickly do you think that'll be taken away?
Yeah. What do you
How
mean?
quickly do you think that'll be taken away? Because this guy's joking about it.
Yeah.
There's people out there that are dead serious about it.
I'm hitting some TikTok videos and stuff like that, dude. I'm finally going viral, guys.
Oh my goodness! You know how many clicks you get on TikTok if you go and get banned out of Universal?
Jesus.
More than 2, I assume. I'm not good at math, but I just have to assume.
It'll pay for your Universal ticket, I think.
Well, Andrew, what about you, man? How was your weekend? What did you get into? I did not see you at the Angels game, but
I did not.
But
I was not able to make my way over there.
Yeah.
No, it turned out to be just a pretty chill weekend. We had
Angels
my girlfriend was down to San Diego this weekend, so I was a single man, but I really didn't do much. I babysat my nephews, went to a baby shower, and then Sunday actually was pretty cool. Me and my dad just hung out in the backyard, and we watched some baseball and got some tans. You know, have you ever thought about?
You do look like you got a nice little olive. You got a nice little olive to you right now, man.
Yeah, dude, my dad, he set it up. He was like, "Oh, let's watch the game. Let's go chill out in the backyard." The shirt comes off. He lands in a lounge chair, and he's just relaxing in the sun. I'm like, I have to. And I just sat there right next to him, and I did it too.
What a bunch of babes just working on their tan. I love it, dude. Oh, man. Awesome. Well, I will fill you guys in. I prefaced last week how I was going to try taking the train to the Angels game. You know, I took the nice little Metro, the $10 Metro round trip. I didn't get my ticket stamped. They didn't come by once. And so I felt like I wasted $20 because I was for 2 people. But you know what? I feel like the embarrassment that I would have gone through if like they came by and checked and I didn't have the ticket, I'd be like, oh, dude, I would crumble. But yeah, I drank a bunch of whiskey on the way over there on the tram or the Metro. Because, you know, our whole plan was like, we're going to take our Yetis or little whatever hydro flasks, fill one of them up with whiskey and then the other one with soda, finish that by the time we get there. Then we could walk in and just fill it up with water.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So it was a good time. I blacked out for sure. Made it home safely thanks to the great people at the Metro and the missus. And yeah, I remember the next day, my Theo and other like people were like, "Dang, dude, Angels got demolished, huh?" And I was like, "Yep." I didn't remember, dude. Like, if they would have said they smoked them, I'm like, yeah, dude. I was more focused and stoked about. I wish I had it on set with me right now, dude. I'm not really into props, but I got a Mandalorian monkey. I got a Mandalorian rally monkey, you guys.
Nice.
Got there early enough. I was stoked. I'm a little sad that I obviously have to give it to my daughter, but gosh darn it. It was pretty stoked. Well, without any further ado, should we bring on our guest, Andrew?
Let's do it, man.
Let's bring on our guest.
Too.
We can only do it properly with.
Said I'll take some hell, yeah. Said I'll take some hell, yeah. I get by with a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. Now, ain't that right?
Ain't that right? All right. Well, shout out to Greaseball for letting us use that for our track. That is Hello Again off of his Sleep Cowboy album, available on all streaming platforms. Go check out Greaseball Hello Again. All right. So, Luis, I figured you could, since you're your homie, I'd let you take the front, the steering wheel for this, take the lead, as they say.
Yeah, man. So basically, I met this young man at work, and I'll be honest, man. I'm usually a pretty good judge of character, and he was the first person that bamboozled me. Man, like so I met him. Great person, great worker, and as I got to know him, when we started talking, man, he started sharing, a little bit of his story, and I started dubbing him the unicorn, because people like him shouldn't be around. To be honest with you. The more and more, and I'll let him tell his story, but the more he shared with me, the more intrigued I became and how special his story really is. So without further ado, I'd like to present Mr. Logan Xavier.
What's up, everyone? My name is Logan Xavier.
What's up, Logan?
Yo ho, how's it going?
Going pretty good. What about you guys?
Good. You want to take the?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So Logan, yeah, man, I think if you want to share with the listeners, basically, guys, the reason I told Eric about and wanted him to share, because I think there might be a lot of people that, it's either from the perspective of being in his shoes right now, where he's trying to get everything back on track, or maybe they're at the point where he was when he was at his lowest. So. Logan, if you want to kind of tell people what early life was like, man, like, where'd you start, where'd you come from, and kind of go off that family life.
Yeah, so I grew up with a single mom. My father was in and out of prison my whole life. I have 4 sisters, so it was just my siblings and my mother and I. And we just were inseparable, because when my mom was at work, my siblings and I, we were just all together, and we looked out for each other, made sure we were all fed, and all that good stuff.
Who was the ringleader, dude? Who caused the most trouble?
My twin sister, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my twin sister.
Oh, that's right. You have a twin,
a certain
dude.
age, then it was me.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a twin sister, right? That's
yes,
right.
Yeah.
What is that paternal? Or no, what's that called when it's
fraternal.
Fraternal?
Yeah, fraternal.
Eric, can you imagine yourself with a twin sister, dude?
Oh no.
With a beard, bro? Come on.
I feel like this guy kind of has a twin sister already. Him and Brian are
it's funny that you said that. Yeah. My big sis, which I call Brian. Everyone,
my cousin Brianna.
Yeah, everyone usually says we look identical, but then I'm like, if she had a beard, or that's
right.
that we would look identical. Or if sometimes I have longer hair when I just don't care and I just kind of give up. So then we look a little bit closer, and then she also has to not care and give up a little bit too, to have her 5 o'clock shadow come in. Oh, you know what? Shout out to big sis Brian. Her birthday's tomorrow. So while you guys brought that up.
Nice.
Shave your beard, Brian. Tomorrow's your big day. We love you.
Love you, Bree. So then, like, with your dad being absent, who was like the biggest role model? Who was the person or that father figure that you looked towards?
So my grandpa was always in the picture, but my grandparents lived separately from us, but we were in and out of homes our whole life, and we have always gravitated back to my grandparents' house.
Okay.
So he was the prime role model in my life. And then later on down the line, my brother-in-law came into our life too.
Okay. How old were you then?
I was in about 3rd or 4th grade, so about like 8 or 9 years old when my brother-in-law came into our life.
Nice.
Yeah, and he was like brotherly figure, manly figure in my life.
Get you into sports?
He did not get me into sports, but he got me into video gaming, which was nice.
Nice.
Oh, nice. What were you guys playing? What kind of games?
We played Call of Duty, Skyrim, Gears of War.
Classics. Let's go.
Yeah, Oblivion, all that good stuff.
Oh, you know that Gears of War, that's like a lost art of those couch co-op games where you could just sit with your homie or you know, your brother or anyone and sit with them and actually play it. And now everything's like online. And so like those couch co-ops are kind of a lost art. Resident Evil 6 and 5 is one. Basically Super Smash Brothers. Anything that's kind of like Super Smash Brothers, you know what I mean? Like you bring people together and you guys are just like yelling at each other like Pikachu's going like OP right now, bro. And, so that's awesome. Those are great moments, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Was he a huge like well, I guess like just a huge, like you said, he was a brotherly figure for you, but would you say that's kind of like when you started like turning things around, or kind of how did that impact you?
No, so I would say he was like, so I had all sisters, so he was like the now the brother that I had. So I didn't get into drugs till my junior year of high school, actually. And it was actually my father got out my junior year of high school. And so throughout life, though, I was like, I always hung out with like, I was attracted to people that weren't the very best role models. Like, I was attracted to people who like to get in trouble. Like, I thought it was fun. I thought it was like cool at that time. So yeah, we would go out. Like, I lived in a certain city, and I met these people over there that were from the neighborhood, and we formed like a little crew, and we would just go around like tagging neighborhoods, and like we would break into people's homes. Like, that was like my earliest time of doing bad stuff.
Dang.
And this was in elementary school. This was while I was in elementary school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Elementary school. Oh, gotcha.
Can you say what city like you grew up in or that was happening at? Or you,
This was Moreno Valley.
okay, Moreno Valley.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a rough area to grow up in, from what I hear and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. They were the people I was hanging out with. Like, they were all having sex when in elementary school, and when I heard of this, I'm like, what? Because I was going to school in Riverside while I lived in Moreno Valley, so I was hanging out with people in Moreno Valley, and they were all having sex. They were doing drugs already by then, and I didn't do drugs at that time. I smoked weed for the first time in elementary school, and had my first cigarette, but the hard drugs came later on.
Yeah, I mean, I remember even growing up when I heard about like high school, like in high school, when there's like backyard parties and they were like, oh, it's like off Cactus or in Mobile area. I was like, nah, I'm not. I wouldn't go to an elementary party if I was in high school. If I heard it was in Mobile, I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
Can we get dropped off, dude? I mean, how did that work, Logan? Did you get dropped off, dude? You come back, you're like, yeah.
I got jacked. I don't know. All these kids punked the heck out of me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So you mentioned
still in the area now?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Andrew.
What's that?
No. Yeah, I was just gonna say, are you still in the area, Logan?
I live in Riverside now.
Oh, I'm sorry. You cut out. I couldn't hear that part.
Oh, I live in Riverside now?
He lives in Riverside now.
Gotcha. I hear now.
He's uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, he thinks he's better than everybody because he lives in Orange County. I'm sorry.
Oh, dang.
You can't blame him for that, dude.
Guy.
Yeah.
He's like, the ocean breeze is very salty today, guys.
It's funny. You spend a lot of time out here, Eric, for how much you talk about it.
I mean, come on, dude. I have imposter syndrome. Come on. My baby mama's white. Everyone I date is white. Come on, dude. I'm trying to adapt.
You have your daughter falling in love at the beach.
Okay, so sorry. Go on.
So then you mentioned your dad gets out, and your first run-in with a hard drug was.
So my first run-in, I was in wrestling, and my back hurt one day, and my father, during these times, this was back in like 2012, and Norcos were not regulated. So he gives me a bottle of Norcos. He was getting like 3 bottles of like 180 pills for some shoulder surgery, and he gives me a bottle of these, and I take them to school, and like I'm showing them off to classmates, and they're like, oh, I'll buy them off you, and I'm like wondering, like, why do people want to buy this off of me? Like, it's Tylenol. Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head. And the first time I took it, I didn't feel anything, and then after hearing so many people want to buy it for me, I'm like, let me pop a few of these. And then I popped like, I think it was a good amount that day, and I felt like I was on cloud nine. I felt like I was like in a whole different world. I was super happy. Like it felt great for the first time. So that was
nothing hurt.
Nothing.
Yeah, I had a huge.
I just picture him floating from class to class. The way he described that.
But that was my first addiction, and I was addicted to pills for 6 years. So you chase that high that you initially felt like for the first time. You're just chasing it constantly. You're like, oh, I'm gonna feel on cloud nine. But after like after the first year, you no longer feel that. You won't feel like that high that you get from it. You're just maintaining after that.
Dang.
Yeah, so that was the very first drug that I was addicted to.
And how old did you say you got that from your father?
I was a junior in high school, so.
Oh, for 6 years after that, you were on Norcos?
No, so junior in high school is when I first started, and that's when I became addicted to for 6 years. So 6 years after becoming a junior, that's when I was got off the pills.
So you were like 16 or so?
Switched over to something else.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember taking a Xanax, getting that in high school from someone who just, gave me a Xanny bar. And I was already smoking weed around that time. And I tried it, and I was like, I loved it so much. I was like, this can be a problem for me. I'm like, my clothes didn't smell like weed. I don't have to hide that. I was like, this just seems so easy to get away with it. And I'm glad that I at that point I knew I was like, this is gonna be a slippery slope if I keep doing this. So I was like, I can not touch that anymore. But I think also it was harder to find Xanax for me. So maybe that was what it was. But I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah, I know. Antonia, she's afraid of flying, and so she gets that prescribed to her. She'll get like a small dosage of Xanax prescribed. And whenever she's flying, or like I've never taken it, I don't even know, what that feeling is, but like it's such a small dosage that whenever she takes it, I'll like ask her throughout the flight, I'm like, so are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? I'm like, what does it feel like? Are you okay? Are you here? Like, do you feel good? And then she's like, yeah. She's like, I don't really notice anything. I was like, I wonder what it is. That's for me. Like, I was just like, I wonder what it is. She's just super calm and does not seem like out of it at all. So I think they got a good dosage on her, but it's crazy that when I tell them, like, man, you're building a dependency on it. I'm like, you can't fly without it. You can't fly without it. Yeah. It's impossible.
But I mean, you're probably cracking a brewski every time you fly.
You're 100% right. That's what I said. That's what I said. And then relaxes me.
And then you said when Antonio's kind of being like annoying to you, you like break one up into her like pudding or something like that.
Hey! You don't tell people that. I told you that at Christmas in confidence one time. I did it one time. I just needed to fly out of there. There actually was a time that she did not have it with her. This was actually crazy. We were leaving Denver, and there was one time she didn't have one of her Xanax, and she psyched herself out. We were at the gate. They were calling our boarding number, and she just looking out of the window, like, I can't. She's like, I can't get on this flight. And I had to be back home, and her mom had already taken off. So it was like, she was driving 35 minutes away. And Antonia's like, I can't get on. And I told him, like, I have to get on, and I'm not waiting. I'm so sorry.
Fair enough.
I have somewhere to be tomorrow. And I totally get it. I was like, I'm not going to force you to get on this flight. But yeah, I guess you'll figure it out. I had to just walk away. Like, I just had to walk
Did she not
down
go
the
on?
tunnel. She didn't go on.
Oh, wow.
She didn't go on.
I cannot believe you're still together.
Yeah. Isn't like the worst ending of a movie, dude? Yeah. Usually it's the guy chasing the girl, right? Now he's walking away from her, dude.
Yeah. That's like the opposite of Casablanca.
All right, I'll remember you.
Yeah.
Oh, and then that was the other thing I was telling her too, because she was so afraid that the flight was, something was going to happen during the flight and all this stuff. And I'm like, just remember, I am still going on this flight. And I hope I see you. I really hope this isn't the one that ends it all. I'm like, but I'll text you if I land in
whatever bad juju you just put on this flight. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Well, Andrew said they watched Final Destination 1 right before they left to the airport. I don't know. That was on them, I guess.
Something was wrong with the phalange. I don't know. She just didn't trust it. She was like, this plane doesn't even have a phalange.
Dude, I'm not a big flyer at all. In my first flight, my father-in-law, shout out Dave, when my wife Amber graduated from college, he flew us out to Hawaii, right? So that was my first flight ever, dude. So what, 5 hours out there?
Ooh, that's a long first one.
We meet a couple, right? And do you guys remember that show Lost?
Oh yeah,
I
actually love that show a lot.
I remember not watching it.
So no, it's a great show, man. So we meet this couple, right? And they're like, hey, we have these tickets for a premiere, blah, blah, blah. So we go to the premiere, and it's on the beach, beautiful setting.
Whoa, the season series pilot premiere of Lost?
Of Lost. And the whole cast
You
was
went
there,
to
right?
it? That's so cool.
Yeah, so we're there, dude, right? And how does the freaking show start?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like, really? We got to get on a plane in a couple days, dude. And here I am, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude. I'm like, here we go, man. So we were definitely invested in that show because of that experience.
Oh, I bet. And you did say after watching the pilot, he's like, I know it. They're in purgatory. I get it. I know it.
Were they though?
Oh, see, there you go.
So Logan, so that was your first run-in. So then tell us a little bit maybe about how you, I don't even want to say graduated, right? Or I'm looking for the wrong word, not graduated at all. How you progressed to harder drugs. Like how did that happen? Was it just the initial chase of trying to find that high again, or?
Okay, so I end up getting addicted to meth. So my father got locked up, and I found some leftover meth in the house, and we were throwing away most of it, and then just like this dumb idea comes in my head. I'm like, oh, I'll sell the rest of this. Like I know people who will buy this, and
Allegedly,
yes. Allegedly, yes. And then so I decided to sell it allegedly. And one of the people I sold it to, they're like, hey, let's do a line. And I'm just like not thinking. I'm like, you know what? Like what I was thinking, I'm like, let me see like what the hype is about this. Like, why did my family fall to this? Like, why do so many people fall to this? And so I just did the line. I did a line of it, and then I felt like I was on the top of the world. Like, I felt like I was on the top of the world. I ended up going to a party that night, and I was talking to, like, the party I went to, there was a few girls there that liked me. And I almost had a threesome that night.
A few girls.
I almost had a threesome that night, and then but I didn't end up actually having it though. That's a bummer, but that's fine. I didn't end up having it, and I'm like, this stuff is good. Like this stuff is good. I feel like I'm on top of the world. I can drink like a bunch, and I'm just like calm and collective, and that was just the first few times. So I was doing it every now and then. Like I would just do a line, and eventually I started smoking it. And then once I started smoking it, that's when things started to go downhill. So probably first 3 months I was fine, and then after like 3 months I went completely downhill. The job I was working at, so I was doing very well in that job prior to the meth, and then once I started doing the meth, then I started to become like suspicious of my coworkers, becoming suspicious of the customers. I was in sales at that time, so we would have like a bunch of random customers come in, and one day there was a cop customer coming in, and I'm like thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's here. He knows, like I'm having all these irrational thoughts in my head.
Right.
And that was like, yeah, it was bad. I started to go inside the units that we were supposed to sell, and I would just hide in there and stay to myself, like, and just like wait till the hours passed, and then clock out until eventually I'm like, okay, I got a problem. And then I told my managers at that time, I'm like, hey, I can't work right now. I told them that I was taking Adderall, that it wasn't meth, but it was meth. And then so I told them that I was taking Adderall, and they're like, okay, take some time. If you need rehab, let us know. We'll give you that. And I'm like, no, I got it under control. Like I thought I had it under control.
Right. And that's the thing, guys, that I always, the one thing, and he just kind of put it perfectly, right? Now that I'm getting to know more about Logan, like I always see that inner struggle with him, right? Because like in the back of my mind, he just said something right now that he was the one that reached out for help. So even though he was kind of still going through the process of the addiction having a grip on him, to have that presence of mind to say, hey, like I'm losing control in a sense, right? And I think a lot of people probably feel that when they early in their addiction is that, oh, I can control this, right? I mean, that's what I've always heard, right? Where people always like, oh, I'm good, man. I'll do a line here and there.
I could quit whenever I want, kind of mentality.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of self-awareness to know, like you said, you're spiraling down and to notice that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, salute to you, brother. Salute to you. And I know we're not even halfway through most of the, you know what I mean, your struggles and stuff like that and what you went through. But, yeah, of course. Want to keep
So
it
from
going?
there, like what? Okay, so then you get to that point. Do you go to rehab at that point, or what?
No, so it went years of me being unemployed. Eventually, like my family caught on too. I came out not that way, but came out like I was on drugs.
We love you, dude. We love you.
I came out to them and they're like, Logan, you've been angry so much. Like, what is up with you? And I'm like, you guys, like I'm on meth. And they were heartbroken. Like they were absolutely heartbroken because they're like, Dad did this. Like you said, you never touch that. And I always told myself, I'm like, I'm never gonna touch this drug, but I touched it. Yeah, I did that. I did it. And yeah. So, sorry, what was the question?
It's a trip that I think that once you realize this is going on, right? And then, like you said, you didn't go to rehab, but you're going back and forth. And this is something that we talk about a lot, right? Is how we can break that chain. And one thing he just said right now is right away, his family also blamed your father, right?
Yeah.
So from that point, like, where do you? And I know the answer to this question, but like, how do you see that right now? Like, how do you look at your father? What's the thought process with him right now?
Currently?
Yeah.
I see him as a changed man. Like, so now he's out of prison. He got released early, a lot earlier than expected, due to Trump. Shout out to Trump. And so now I see him as like he's a changed man. He's a lot older. Mm-hmm. He saw us all grow up. He did not see us grow up, and I think that's what changed him.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I missed out on all my kids' lives. Like, I missed out on, like, now he has his grandkids, like, that, we'll give him that, but he doesn't have us anymore.
Right.
Like, we're not, now he can now he can be there for my son. He can be there for my nieces and nephews.
Right.
So,
go ahead.
Logan, if you don't mind me asking, is it hard kind of in the sense, like, do you, not that you hold anything against him, but like, do you like forgive him? Like you said, he missed out on most of your childhood, and now he has, kind of like like a start over, a second chance to do it with his grandkids. But like, do you have any, like, I guess, any reservations against him or anything like that?
Yeah. So I think like anybody would, like, you think about it, like somebody, okay, I do have anger towards my mother and my father that I am still currently working with. I just think about, like, I see my son and I'm like, okay, like, I'm here for my son, and I would never miss out on the world for that. And I don't see how some people can. I can see it from, like, while I was on drugs, I missed out on a lot of my family events. So I can see it from the drug addict's perspective. But I do have a little bit of anger and a little bit of understanding of my father. I still have not, like, completely forgave him for it. Like, it's still in my heart, but it's something that I'm working with. Yeah, trying to.
Yeah, I hope one day you guys can go in the backyard, take your shirts off together and tan like
I know, right? For real, yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah, like Andrew and his pops.
I love it.
I feel like that's dad goals or son goals. I don't know. I wish I could do that someday with my pops too, to just pop off our tees and be like, let's just have like a bad girl Sunday, dude. What's going on?
It was. Let me send you the picture. You can show me.
Oh,
It's hilarious.
Yes. And after this, we're gonna go for a hot girl walk, dude. Like what?
Hot girl walk.
Amazing. Yeah, throw it in the Skype chat thing, and I think it'll pop up.
That's hilarious.
Oh, will that be easier? Yeah, let me do that. All right.
Yeah.
Let me get it there. All right, but continue, Logan. My bad. Yeah, no, like Eric said, hopefully that's well, you already, are doing it with your son. You've adjusted so well, and you already said you don't want to miss anything, and that's kind of like the best learning lesson you could get from seeing what your dad wasn't doing and just being the best that you can be, so your son never sees that.
Yes,
so that's
definitely.
awesome.
Thank you.
And I think that's too, right? Like one of the things that Logan and I share in common is we actually see the same therapist. So I started seeing a therapist 3 years ago. Shout out Fernando, you're the man. Love you.
Yes, he is.
And
what promo code do we use at BetterHelp.com?
Yeah, no. But no, I mean, he, my journey with him till this day, man, it's they're and today we joked about it. I try not to miss a week or else the voices come back. But just kidding. No, but no. On a serious note, I think a lot of times we feel that we're alone, right? That we feel like we're the only person going through this, and that was another one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to have Logan come on and share his experience, because I think, once you put a name to something, and you realize that, oh, I'm not special. I'm not the only one going through this. There's millions of people that are going through this, right? And then what Logan's just talking about, when I was able, when Fernando and I talked about it and we're able to put a name to it, it's that oh man, I forgot the word. Transgenerational or generational transmission is what it's called. So basically it's that, because my dad's an alcoholic, I'm an alcoholic because of him, so on and so forth. And again, we put a name to it, and now it's like an identity that you can identify, but at the same time you can break away from, right? And there is that generational, you can break that cycle. And one of the things that Logan and I talked about, and the reservations that he does still have for his father, was, and one of the things I told him was like, what, the reason that you're such a great dad is because of that. So, in a weird kind of long way, like you do have something to be thankful for, and unfortunately it's what not to do, right? Because, sometimes we have to learn things that way. But yeah, I think therapy for me, like I said, it was, it's been a great thing. It's almost a cheat code on life, man. And I think more people definitely need to reach out, and go towards that, because it is such a great thing. Look at that picture. I love it. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome.
My boy's giving us a serious talk right now, and then just two bros just broing out in the backyard, getting bronze.
Sorry, that was supposed to. I said that a while ago. It barely loaded. Sorry.
That is awesome, dude.
I'm sorry.
No, that was great, dude. That was cool. That was a perfect time, man.
Oh, man. We got about 15 minutes before we have to get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, Logan, we're going to have you back on again for sure if you're open for that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Awesome, man. Do you want to keep we could go keep going?
No, yeah. I mean, I think, if you guys do welcome us back, man, I think it's definitely one of those things. Maybe we can even talk Fernando into doing it. The only thing is he's in Uruguay, man.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah. So we see him through. Dude, this guy, man, and he's going to hate this because I know he's going to be listening to this. But talk about a special. Are you good giving him his props right now?
What's that?
Giving Fernando some props here?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Fernie, we call it Fernie time, right? So, dude, and again, man, and Fernando, I'm sorry, but I love you, man. So for the first few years, or a couple years, we got to know each other. And then I realized, I was like, man, dude, I know this guy, and we connected on a level, but I don't know this guy, right?
Right.
So it got to a point where, hey, we started calling it Fernie time. So little by little, he started sharing like his life, right? And to tell you that this guy is a superhero, man, and I get choked up, dude, because he's a psychotherapist, and I'm gonna call it, and please don't get offended by this. It's almost like a hobby to him, because his actual job has to do with, like, I mean, he dumbed it down for me. But basically,
he's a sandwich artist,
dude. Yeah, he's
what a hero.
He's the goose to the maverick. When it comes to brain surgery, dude.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
This guy's crazy.
Whoa!
And he
in and out, and under the hood, right? That's crazy. What?
And yeah, I mean, he's in South America, man. This guy does all kinds of great work. He doesn't go too much into detail. Obviously, there's a lot of
confidentiality, yeah.
But I mean, he teaches these seminars on from my understanding, like different techniques, procedures, on like anything to do with neurosurgery. Hope I said that right. And it's just amazing to me, man, because this guy, not only is he touching our lives, but he's out there literally saving lives.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful for the relationship that we have. And hopefully we can get him on one day. I know there's a 5-hour difference, so he'd be up.
Oh, we could do a pre-recorded one for him, dude.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, I feel like a lot of people would argue saving a lot of people's lives both ways.
100%.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
He'll be the first to tell you too, dude. He'll be the first to tell you that, hey, you're helping me as well. We're helping each other out, because like today, man, we had some conversations where, I mean, we'll both break down into tears, man, and talk about like, and they're tears of joy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, and it's a relief, man. And again, I mean, and I think us as Hispanic males, and I know that Logan can relate to this. Like, I think therapy and all this stuff has always been kind of looked down at, because it's like, get therapy, get out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
you're not wrong. Yes.
No, dude, but the reality of it is, it's like, you know what? You can't sugarcoat stuff like that, and that talking about that generational transmission, as far as like, being able to break that chain to say like, look, like, my dad, and both of you guys know my dad, the guy you guys see at those parties, bro, that's my dad, man. That's the guy at home.
Right, he always been an absolute legend.
Bro, it's a trip.
And such a legend.
But to tell you guys, that my grandfather, was physically abusive towards him, and early on, like he didn't know how to love, in a sense, you know what I mean? And I think that, for us, I was able to change that. Robert was able to change that for him. And now he's been our best friend. And I think that being able to go back and have these conversations with him, and almost releasing him, in a sense of like, again, putting these names to certain things to say, hey, Dad, guess what? It wasn't your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, It wasn't just like, even like right now with Logan, right? It's like, hey, dude, like, and maybe this is something we can get into after the fact, but like, it's not about, maybe what your dad went through, but you can go down maybe the lineage of certain things. And I think a lot of those crossroads, it's like, well, these are the cards we were dealt, and that's the hand we got dealt. That's what we got to play. But I mean, do you really?
It is what it is.
Like Popeye said, man, I am what I am.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the beauty of it. But I think, again, man, Fernando is a great dude, man, and I think anybody should just reach out, and psychotherapy, or just any type of therapy itself, man. It's a cheat sheet on life. Would you agree?
No, definitely, yeah. I would definitely agree. He like challenges me in ways that benefit me a lot. He's constantly like, he's like a friend too. He's like,
for sure,
a friend, a mentor. He's somebody there that's I can share my deepest, darkest secrets with, and my problems with, and then he helps me get through those too.
100%.
Hey, Logan, have you, like, before you heard of Luis going to therapy or talking about his therapy sessions, were you looking for a therapist, or were you like looking into going into therapy?
I had a therapist. I had a therapist for about almost over a year.
Okay.
And I thought, I'm like, he was not a very, like, he didn't work for me.
Right,
I shouldn't say he's a bad therapist, but
what a
it
good way
just
to
didn't
say
work
it,
for
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just therapy, like, until I met Fernando, and then that was a totally different thing. He actually helped me in so many ways so far.
That's
that I've known him.
That's beautiful to hear, especially for all the listeners out there who may be looking to go to therapy or have gone to certain therapists and maybe stopped going because they didn't like you said, it wasn't working for them.
Right.
And, that hopefully some listeners can, hear that and be like, oh, maybe I'll go check out some, car shopping. Go take a nice little test drive.
Yeah,
honestly,
definitely.
like people do that with
Absolutely.
everything. I've ordered beers before and they're like, do you want some testers? You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you want to do that with some, like, for your mental health? You know what I mean? A doctor like that, like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. See if
And
the shoe fits.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So
Oh, is it?
kind of on
nice.
brand right now.
There it is.
Whoa.
Perfect.
We killed it,
We
guys.
kicked it off, man.
Whoa.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Some would say we might have done this on purpose. We
Andrew,
did.
that's why we keep you around, big guy.
I look up the dates. I jammied it up real quick, but I did hear something about that, so I wanted to just confirm. But yeah, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and like we've been mentioning, or like Eric said, it doesn't hurt at all to go and find the one that works for you. I've met so many people that's like the number one part of the conversation. When they found their therapist, they went through a few until they finally found the one that works for them and one that they just can rave about and go to on a weekly basis now. Mm-hmm. Mental health is very important, and I've told Eric this before. I help with the psychedelic therapy fund. Actually, it's Antonio's cousin. He runs it, and
Can't you tell
they're
from
all
his
about
tie-dye shirt?
No, it wasn't. They should have one though. They should do one, but they do. Psychotherapy, and it's worked for a lot of people. It's helped, Marines with PTSD. It's helped just different people get out of depressions, and there's just a bunch of different avenues of therapy out there. So, like we've kind of been turning the show into, it's great to go out there and seek help, and don't be afraid to just say the truth to, a loved member. They want the best for you always. And when you know that someone that you care about knows your deepest, darkest secret, it makes it a lot easier of a burden to carry around. Someone knows what you're going through, and they're there for you. And if they love you and they're a loving person in your life, they're going to want to, stay on top and make sure you're doing great. So definitely trust the people around you. I think that's a big thing. They're there to help you, and they're going to want to give you the best advice they can. And they'll understand more what you're going through, so you don't have to go through it alone.
Exactly, yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
We got about 7 minutes before we have to get out of here. Do you guys want to cover anything else?
I think if we're gonna definitely, if you guys have us back, I think the incarceration part, I think that'd be a good
cool
good
little
segue.
Yeah.
Maybe not get into that, but
Nice little cliffhanger.
Yeah. I think again, man. I think he's a special guy, man, and I tell him this all the time, man. It's you're a motivating person, brother. You're definitely inspired people. I hope that the listeners out there today, again, if they're in your shoes, whether they're in the front of the battle, in the middle, or in the back, I hope they reach out and they listen, man. But
or even if they know a loved one that might be
sure,
going through
100%.
the same kind of thing as well, Yeah. Do you want to maybe leave a teaser for next time we're able to have you guys?
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, definitely. So my last, I would say, my turning point is I went 2 years of being on meth, right? 2 years of being on meth, and I was homeless. I was staying inside my car. I was living in my car. I had a home, but I just didn't want to go there because I didn't want to show my family
what kind of car are we living into? What were we living in?
It was a Chevy Cobalt 2006.
Okay, so not the worst.
No, it's not a bad car, and I would say it was actually comfortable. Like I would be able to go wherever I want when I want.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of
I think I seen
freedom
hot girls on Instagram like go and living off of that, right? Like on a like a caravan kind of thing across the country. So cool.
That's funny, dude.
Just kidding. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was living out of my car though, and I was committing a bunch of these crimes. I ended up getting locked up, and then my sisters would bail me out. And at one point, I was 3 times. I was out on bail, committed a charge. So it was a charge. They call it crime on bail. So I had all that. I had like 2 of those on me, and I had a bunch of these charges. A lot of these charges, like more than any like normal criminal has. And so it was, my turning point was I got a strike. And so what the strike means is if you commit any crime, you get double time of that. And then I was out for a month, and I did another crime, and the cops ended up coming after me, and I had a high-speed chase with them because I didn't want to go back. I'm like, oh, if I get caught, then I'm gonna go back for a while. I ended up getting away, but they ended up finding me.
Whoa, you got away from the high-speed chase?
I got away.
Oh,
yeah, I got away.
Oh, wow.
And
we gotta have you back ASAP.
Yeah, I'll tell more about it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go on. Dang.
Keep it going, yeah. Keep the listeners on their toes.
Yeah, I was in. So they ended up catching me that same day, though. A few hours later. Because it was like some tweaker moment that I had, like some really moment that I was on drugs big time, and then I ditched the car somewhere and left the car open. Music was blasting, and I parked at this random park. Doors were open, and somebody called it in. And then they had helicopters overhead, and then that's when.
What kind of music you think was bumping?
It was rock. Yeah, I was definitely listening to some rock.
What are we talking? Some like Aerosmith, dad rock, some like cool punk rock?
I would say maybe like some Toxicity radio station on Pandora.
In the city. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I would say I was listening to that.
Awesome. Yeah. You know what? That sounds about right. Like that's some hyped up music right there.
I think mine would have been AC/DC.
in the arms. No, wait. With arms wide open. That's my Creed right there.
That's funny.
Yes, man. So they got you because of that, and then, man, that's a lot of teasers. Anything else you want to after that?
I'll share more later if that's fine.
Awesome. Oh yes, of course, man. Well, you know what? Yeah, we got about 2 minutes before we get out of here. Logan, I want to say thanks again for taking the time and being part of the show, man. We appreciate you. We hope nothing but the best for you, and strength through all these struggles that I mean, I'm sure every day is probably one of those. But hopefully one day you and your pops take your shirts off together and get a nice tan. And for all the listeners on listening to Palmtrees and Progress Presents, hope you guys all get a nice little tan with your pops in the backyard, front yard. I don't care. I don't know, porch, whatever, dude. Luis, thank you so much for taking the time and being part of the show. Hey,
thank you guys for having us, man. Again, thank you, Logan.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah.
Andrew, love you, man.
Andrew.
Yeah, love you guys. Thank you guys again, Logan, and thank you for sharing your story, man, and just being open with us, and again, encouraging people to go and seek that help, like we mentioned. And again, Luis, thank you for just always being there for us, man, being an older cousin and leading the way too by example as well. So, and Eric, we'll get to your intervention soon.
Don't promise me a good time. Does anybody have any last words to say before we get out of here?
Thanks again, man. Appreciate you guys having us.
No sweat. All right.
DJ, spin that track.
Keep it on. Don't forget to check out our Instagram at Palmtrees in Progress. Don't forget to check out our website for all of our merchandise. We're going to have some swimmy shorts this year, huh, Andrew? Some Palmtrees in Progress swimmy shorts. Palmtrees in Progress.
Maybe I'm getting a tan for that model sesh.
There you go. Palmtreesinprogress.com. Check out all the stuff. Check out Save Your Soul on Spotify. Check out Beta Flytrap on Spotify. Don't forget to check out Greaseball as well on Spotify. And hope everyone takes it easy, stay safe, and keep it sleazy. Later, guys. Bye.